Mr. Darby, would you take a minute to introduce yourself to the panel?
Yes, I'd like.
You got to turn it on.
Just turn on the switch. So.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Before I do that, can I ask the panel, how many of you are veterans? Okay, there's 2 veterans on the panel. I just want to know that.
Why non-veteran, aren't I?
Just for my own edification, I wanted to know that. My name's Forrest Darby, running for the State Board of Education from CD1. And I think I'd make a good board member, and that's my opening statement.
We'll start with questions with Travis.
Clark County has had the unfortunate blessing of being a constantly growing school district. And how has the change in the growth in Clark County, it slowed down the growth, excuse me, how is that change in the growth patterns going to affect your management of the school district?
Well, whether it's going up or going down, which it is going down, we're losing population since about the middle of 2005. Our schools are underfunded. Whether they're going up or down, doesn't make any difference. On the cards that I gave you is a web page. And on that web page are numerous pages. I call them issue pages. And we rank anywhere between 45th and 50th as far as what we spend on education versus how wealthy our state is. We're 50th. Well, we reached the high water mark of 45th in one area. And so I don't know, exactly what we need to do, but I do know we need to spend more money on public education, and that will be something I advocate.
Why is Clark County not going year-round school?
I have no idea, but I do know they have some schools that are year-round. When you drive down, it'll say this is a year-round school. Be sure you don't speed through here in the summer, kind of thing. And I think that some parents prefer 9-month schools, some teachers prefer it, and some teachers prefer year-round schools, and some parents prefer that. So I have never heard that there is a big problem in that area, but of course, on the state board, you look at everything. And if you see something that can be improved, you try to improve it.
So would you support year-round schools as a way to maximize the utility of the facilities?
Probably not. I would have to look at it. There's so many parents that want to take their kids on vacation in the summer, that want to do that kind of thing. When you and I grew up, it was all 9-month schools. I doubt if you were in a state where there was a year-round school. I doubt if anybody on the panel was. So year-round schools are a fairly new phenomenon. My dad was a school principal all the time I was growing up, and it was a 9-month school, but I do think there is some interest in year-round schools, and I think it's worth looking at.
Melody?
Thank you for attending, Mr. Darby. Your card back here says that I believe more money should be raised and directed toward public education, and that teachers should receive fair wages and benefits. I won't disagree that teachers should receive fair wages and benefits. However, where would you want that money to come from? And what about bad teachers? I mean, it takes an act of God to get rid of them. So, I mean, would you support merit-based pay for teachers?
Probably not. I think it's manipulated like crazy, but I'll take a look at it. I think there's an awful lot of manipulation. When you get into merit pay, there's kids in school that, they're in, I can't even think of the name now, but anyways, special schools for...
Special education.
Special education. Wonderful word for that. But how do you judge a teacher that's teaching special education? How do you, that kind of thing. There's a lot of things that you need to look at. Not that maybe some merit pay is deserved, but you also ask about how I fund it. Well, for one thing, Walmart doesn't pay a nickel in this state. I think it's one of 2 states they don't pay any money. It's an outrage. And the mines don't pay squat. I know it's in the Constitution. I'd be for amending the Constitution. I'd be for doing a lot of things, because when that gold is gone, it's gone. And they're not going to move those mines to Mississippi. So there needs to be a lot more equity. We, in a lot of ways, not in every way, but in a lot of ways, we are under-taxed in this state. And,
Mr. Darby, you're out of time.
Okay.
We're moving to Karen. Karen, you have a
I
question?
don't have any questions, thank you.
Was your figure of Nevada at 45th the one that does not include school building funds, or was that on a list that used combined spending on education and spending on educational buildings?
I would have to look at it. It's right there, Doctor, and you can bring it right up. It shows it's very detailed, okay? I had some very good people. It's 4 separate pages going into 4 separate situations, but in none of those situations were we higher than 45th. And, you know, I volunteered to teach in school because I thought it was the right thing to do. So I went down to Paradise Elementary, and I taught last year. And I got to watch how hard those teachers work, and I got to see how many kids are in the schoolroom. I got to compare it to when I was in school and my dad was a principal. It was just appalling to me at how poorly funded our schools are compared to when I was younger and when I was growing up. And I said, you know, maybe I'm going to try to do something about this.
Jim?
Mr. Darby, thanks for coming in this afternoon. What is your opinion of trade schools? Recently, it's become a new phenomenon now where a lot of politicians are talking about how, hey, you know what, not everybody's college bound, college isn't for everyone. Some of these kids, let's focus more on getting them into trade schools and developing that even at the community college level. What's your take on it?
When I was, again, in San Mateo, California, I don't remember any trade schools. However, I think they're a great idea. There are kids that just are better at going to a trade school, that like it better, that want to be car mechanics, that want to be, you know, airline mechanics, aircraft mechanics, and that's where they really belong. They belong where they want to be. And from what I understand, Basic is a very good trade school. And again, you look at all the options when you get inside, and you get to look from the inside. But the idea of having a good trade school is very appealing to me.
Can I follow up with that? Why did we lose trade schools here in Nevada in the first place? We had them back when you and I were in school.
Well, when I was younger, I was in California. I've only been here 27 years, but as far as I know, we still have Basic, and it's still a trade school. Now, I do believe we've lost some others, and maybe we should look in that direction. Can we establish? The problem with that is that Travis, right? The problem with it, Travis, and I was discussing this with someone yesterday, and I said, why don't we have more than just the one trade school? And they said, because of the equipment factor. You know, there's so much equipment that needs to be there, and so much expense, that you have to look at, okay, how high do you want to raise the taxes to open a second trade school and bring in all that aircraft equipment and all the other equipment that they use, the welding machines and, you know, boppity boop.
So when the school district was in the heyday of having lots of money, even then they didn't add trade schools. So why would we think they would find the money now?
Well, I don't know. Again, I think our tax structure is appalling. I think that there needs to be a broad-based business tax. You know, everybody looks at the casinos, they pay about 5 different kinds of taxes. Maybe they don't pay enough, but I'd look at other sources, and it just drives me crazy that a company like Walmart doesn't pay anything. And that the mines, you know, my vision of the mining, gold mining and silver in particular, is that when the last spoonful of gold is gone, they'll say, we've solved the problem, we figured out a way to tax the mines, and it'll be gone by then.
We're going to move to Leo for the next question.
Yeah, as far as not taxed enough, if we wanted to live in California, then, you know, California by the beach is better than California in the desert. So we can always move back to California for higher taxes. But the two things, you never addressed Melody's question about what do you do about bad teachers and how it's impossible to get rid of them. And where bad teachers do more damage than drug dealers because they affect all kids, not just the kids that are doing the drugs. But my question is school choice. Do you support school choice and empowerment schools?
I would have to take a hard look at it. But what I understand, let's talk about charter schools. I understand the teachers in charter schools are paid an average of 24% less with their benefit package and their teaching than regular school teachers, and our regular school teachers are not paid anything. So I would like to look at that. I want to have an open mind on that. I want to see the achievement levels. I want to see everything about that. But as far as getting rid of bad schools, that's a canard, or bad teachers. You know, most have just worked their butts off, and it's not that, everybody says it's impossible to get rid of bad teachers. It's not. It's not that difficult, and I think that's way, way overblown.
Yeah, as far as are you more concerned about the quality of education or the quality of teacher pay?
I think they go hand in hand.
Do you have any additional questions? We have extra time.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
No,
Darby, thank you for being here today.
Okay.